Dee 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 dee. Keto living is the life for me. Coffee, cooking, and recipes. Spending my days with my doggies. So be a sport. Set your alarm for Wednesdays for the Warden's Report. Welcome to another weekly Warden's Report, y'all. And it is Wednesday. I am currently making my lunch. Let me show you. So this is how I make, oops, let me do it with that. This is how I make my Cornell sausage. I just put them in a skillet on low-medium heat. And cook them for a few minutes. So it's got that nice little crunchy sear. And then it's ready to serve out. So usually about 10 minutes or so is all it typically takes me. So if you are new here, I'm just going to talk about what I eat for the week and whatever else comes into my crazy mind, right? And see, he's in the background there. Say, hey. Yo.
Eat my lunch.
So it is one good thing about working from home is we get to eat lunch together almost every day.
Yay!
Like we never get enough of each other, do we?
Because we married each other, huh?
So it's a great day. I hope everybody else is having a wonderful day. Thank y'all so much for all of your comments. I look forward to them every single week. I enjoy it so much. It's really the highlight of my week, or one of the highlights, because
I'm sitting right here.
In regards to the HungryHorde, your comments are such a highlight to me. And then the other two highlights for the week are when I post the trailer of all the foods. So every time y'all share your food in our HungryHorde headquarters Facebook group, and I make a trailer for every week, I absolutely love that. And then my other highlight is, of course, the Friday night feast.
Oh, yeah.
With this one. And so we always look forward to that. It's just so much fun. And do you know what we're making this week? Of course, it'll be this past week when they see this.
A shrimp.
That's right.
And a poblano cream sauce.
Ooh. So, hope y'all tune in to that. And if you are new here, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, y'all, please. It really helps us so that, you know, the more comments, thumbs ups we get, and the more subscribers, the more these videos reach other people out in the YouTube sphere. So, thank you all so much. And I'll continue showing what I'm having for eats. Wednesday lunch. I cannot believe it's Wednesday and March 1st, y'all. Like, did we even have February? Because I don't remember having February. But apparently we've already been through February. We're a quarter, right? Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through this year, y'all. I'm just shocked. So, for today's lunch, I've got 4 Purnell sausage. I was really hungry. And about 3.5 tablespoons of mayo, serving, which is 2 tablespoons of the olive tapenade, a little bit of onion, and then the last of my fatty coffee. I'm using this because it helps the coffee stay warmer longer. But yeah, that's lunch today. Wednesday dinner. So this week I meal prepped a meatloaf for us. And you saw a little bit of it last night. Look, I just go basic with it. I know you get fancy with the egg and the pork rinds and seasonings. All I did was about 5 pounds, maybe 4.5, of ground beef. And then I added our homemade Italian seasoning. And, of course, Redmond's garlic salt and a little extra salt. And I just, you know, put that all into the meat. And then I just plopped the meat into my loaf pans, topped with some of that cheap marinara we got, and that was it, y'all. Like, I don't do the eggs and the pork rinds. Yes, it is 80% ground beef, so there is, you can see on the plate, a lot of the fat in there, which I'm okay with. I find that the meatloaf is just as juicy and great as doing with everything else. So that's how I do it, just quick and easy. And then I've got some mushrooms with some cheese, jalapenos with goat cheese, also a side of mayo, about 3 tablespoons with seasoning, and then you can see the beef fat down in the bottom. I just poured it out of the loaf pan over that and onto my plate. And then I was like, you know, I feel like some avocado. So this is just that mashed avocado cup that we get from, I think we got at Costco this time. And that's it. So it's just avocado. It's not guacamole. It's just plain avocado that they mash up. It's just so easy and convenient for us. Thursday lunch, I've got 3 Pernell sausage. I topped with that Carolina Reaper cheese. And then I've got about 4 tablespoons of mayo, some of that olive mixture, a little bit of onion, the rest of my fatty coffee. I guess I should face it like that, right? And that'll be my lunch today. Oh, so the sauces, I've got that Love Chamoy here. On the mayo, I did both Dave's Insanity and a little bit of our personal MCT hot sauce. So that's what I'm doing today for my lunch. So day's going fast. Can't believe it's already Thursday. How exciting. Thursday night dinner. I was trying to do like a show opening, right? So we got the rest of this meatloaf. It's the final amount. About a tablespoon and a half, almost 2 tablespoons of mayo. Look at all of that beef fat in here. I just poured it all on top. That is some of more of that olive tapenade. And then I've got jalapeno and mushroom stuffed with goat cheese. And then to drink, I've got my topo. And Thursdays, the first Thursday of every month, I have to go pick up these slackers. Where are they at? Those slackers. Here comes Heath.
Hey.
Look at the legs. Those slackers food. So it's kind of like, you don't go to a store, you guys. So when I get their food, because it's a company that's out of like Dallas, so they deliver, and I literally meet them in a parking lot, and a refrigerated truck shows up, and there's probably about 10 or 12 of us at this particular location. They do locations all over town, and in all the major cities in Texas. And you meet the truck at an undisclosed time. No, and they tell us. And they have boxes of whatever you ordered, right? And then they just call your name, or the guy tonight just was slapping down the boxes. And then as you saw your box, you would go and grab it. So I have to go meet them at this, parking lot. It's not too far, and it's only once a month. So I always have to buy enough food to make sure it lasts until the next first Thursday of the month. So like today, it's real easy with it just being the 2nd. But like in April, it won't be till April 6th. It's whatever the very first Thursday is when they deliver close to me. So it does seem kind of funny to me. I've had several times people like stop and say, hey, what are y'all waiting for? What is this for? Because all they see is a undescript, is that it?
Yeah.
Undescript truck. And people grabbing boxes off the back of this truck.
We're buying our stereos.
Right. And they're like, what are y'all doing? And I'm like, oh, it's dog food. They're like, dog food? It sounds so weird. And they always give me face like, dog food? But yeah, so because I feed them raw. I used to make it, but it's just so convenient, and they have several different blends, so I do try to vary it up a little bit. So like the package I got for this coming month has tripe in it. I always get the beef. They also do chicken and turkey, but I feel like, chicken or poultry in general can be inflammatory for dogs. So if they get that as a treat, it's not a big deal. But if they, I'm not going to feed it to them day in and day out.
Not for bulk.
Right, not for bulk. So I get them a beef blend. So it's always going to have beef bones, beef kidneys, liver, and usually heart. Like, so it's the meat plus organs and bones, because they definitely need the bones for calcium. And then I could change it up and get, like, this one has added tripe, and they also add beef fat to it. And then there's a couple other blends that have, different things like that. There's actually one where they do put chicken livers in with it. It's like Farmer's Blend or something like that. But they're all carnivore. Like, they don't have vegetables added to it. So they've done really, really well on it. I guess I've had them on this for almost 2 years or 1 year. I'm trying to think, at the hotel, didn't we have it at the hotel?
Yeah, actually we did.
Or were we still doing our own then? I think we were still doing our own. Anyways, she's been on it for a while. I know Sam has been on it since I fostered him. So it's been actually over a year then. So yeah, they're enjoying it. So long story, not short. So on Thursdays, I go and do this. I have to meet them at 5 p.m., which I say Houston traffic. I'm in Spring. This is north of Houston, but still going out at like 4:45 on a Thursday, it's traffic. So it takes me, almost till, I guess I got home, about 5:45? Or almost 6, yeah, because RSK just went live. So I'm like, I go right by Dutch Bros to get home, so I might as well get me a Dutch Bro. So I know, you're like, oh my gosh, Shelly, your story 5 minutes later, you're telling us why you got Dutch Bros. But yes, that's why I got Dutch Bros. So this is just a large, sugar-free annihilator with heavy cream. That's how I order it. So, and just a heads up, Dutch Bros is a little carby because they're mixed and stuff, and plus the heavy cream. So it is going to be carby, but I mean, look, how much carbs am I getting, y'all? So I'm not worried about one drink once a week. Maybe it'll probably be twice this week because tonight, and then Heath will probably get me one tomorrow too. So, but that's fine. I mean, once a month I go out on a Thursday and I'm like, get my Dutch Bros. I'm good. I'm going to go eat this lunch, or dinner rather, while it's still somewhat warm. Lunch on this marvelous Friday, or I guess I should say fantastic Friday. And I've got, of course, my 3 Pernell sausage. I poured the grease over it, but you can't really tell. A serving of the olive tapenade, and I also have one of the smashed avocados, and about 5 tablespoons of mayo, some seasoning from Flat Iron Pepper Company, and my fatty coffee, and he throwing things around. The reason I'm having so much fat with this meal is tonight we are making shrimp on the Friday night feast, and shrimp is a very lean protein. So I need to do something to help make sure I still get my fat for the day. So just making adjustments in other places. I mean, we are going to have a fatty sauce with it, but, I want to try to up the fat in other ways so that, I'm not just like piling on the fat with the shrimp. Just trying to even things out. Saturday night dinner. We are starting with some oysters, some fresh Gulf oysters. We got a dozen total. Got our lemon. We have our mignonette and our horseradish. I think that's mignonette. Oh no, that is a cocktail, but we have right here and here. That's usually what I use. And we also got some hot sauce to put on it. And of course we brought our ribbons. So this is our appetizer. Saturday night dinner. I've got cappuccino with the crab and shrimp. And then I've got some, go ahead. I've got some pork rinds they make in-house, and it's served with, I'm sure that's just bad mayo, but anyways, some diced jalapenos in here. And then they put in here just some Frank's Red Hot. But basically, I'm just using that for my cappuccino. Oh, thank you. And then we also ordered Kumbak slaw and some of the Brussels. And he got the golden tile. And see, they still serve my cappuccino with all those chips. I'm like, no. Even though I told them no chips, I wanted this instead. She's like, that's how they ring it up. Oh, well. That's why you just move it aside, right? But yeah, so this is my chips for my cappuccino, which is my favorite. Well, we are home. And look, my little spider is up there. So I'm going to try to do it. You see how dark it is. But if I put the light a certain way, you kind of see her beautiful orb that she is building. Or her web, rather. She's an Orb Weaver. But look at her just working so hard. And they have to like rebuild this every night. But isn't that gorgeous? And there she is, just hard at work. She's like, I'm working hard. Gotta catch my dinner. But look at that beautiful. I'm trying to get it. I don't want to blind her, you know. I'm sure she's like, can I not be in the spotlight, please? Let me zoom out so you'd see. But here it is. So it's hard to show because it's obviously nighttime because they're a nocturnal spider. But here's the gate to the off of our deck. We put rope on here because we were trying to teach Sam how to pull the rope to open the door. But, you know, that didn't work. There's Delilah. So this is going, you kind of see this paved stones going to over there as the gate going to our driveway. So that's our backyard. So let me back up here. So, ooh, don't want to back up too far. So there's where we keep the Traeger. So, you know, sometimes we film with the Traeger. And then, so here's the deck. There's the lighting stuff. So where she is at is kind of up over here. So, and there it is, y'all. There it is. You kind of see her right there. Right there. But yeah, so she's building higher up, like off of, there's our ceiling or whatever of the deck. So when I first saw her, here's the deck. Ooh, sorry y'all. Here's our deck, right? And this is the awning. And she was kind of building it right here, kind of in this corner. And catching some right here in this little corner area. And then now, she's like, oh no, look what I could do. I go up here and attach from our roof over to the end of the awning. And then there's some tree limbs up there. And I mean, that is a lot of freaking work, isn't it? And so she's attaching. I can see where and I think one of them attaches somewhere down on the ground somewhere. I'm not even sure where it goes. But I can see part of it down here. But anyways, yeah, so she's just using all of this, and she's gotten higher to catch the bugs. So I'm just really proud of her. And yeah, I mean, look at that, beautiful. Just such a beautiful web. Anyways, that's my little spider that has been working really hard. So way to go, girl. Happy Sunday. I've got some of that ham and Aldi, that ham steak. So I got a portion of that, about 4 ounces roughly. I've got several tablespoons of mayo, about 4 to 5 tablespoons of mayo. Some of those blue cheese stuffed olives. And then I'm seasoning with this flat iron sweet heat. It's really good. And the Love Chamoy. And then, of course, I've got my coffee in my indecent cup today. Thought I would show you all how I do my cast iron ribeye. So you want a ribeye no more than 2 inches. Most of them are running roughly an inch, inch and a half at the most. And look at that marbling, y'all. Now, we do pre-season these, so when we buy in bulk, we season them up, put them in our vacuum sealer, and then that has all the seasoning on it. And then you're going to need a half stick of butter and just cut it into pats. And then you could use fresh herbs. What I'm using today is, this is like an herbed olive oil. So it's already got like, I know there's like rosemary and lavender and thyme and different herbs in here. So you definitely do fresh herbs and garlic. Or I'm just using an herb olive oil. Make sure it's not extra virgin because this will get hot. So you want regular oil, olive oil, and then a nice smoking hot pan. And what we're going to do, it's really easy. We're going to start 4 minutes. We're going to sear this steak for 4 minutes. Then we'll flip. Sear for a minute, then we're going to add the butter and the oil, and then I'm going to put a probe in it, and I'm just going to start basting until I get it to the eternal tip of 128 for medium rare, because it will still cook after I pull it. And it's been 4 minutes. Now I'm going to flip. Look at that beautiful sear, y'all. Gorgeous, gorgeous crust. That's what you're wanting. I'm just pushing this down so we get an even sear on the other side. I'm going to set my alarm for 1 minute. And yeah, it won't take long. And then while that's doing, I'm going to get my probe, get that turned on. And then what we'll be doing is adding, and you also need a spoon, sorry. So once the minute is up, we're going to add the butter, drizzle the olive oil with the herbs, and then we're going to just start basting it until we get that eternal temp. So I'll show you how that works. All right, it has seared for a minute. My alarm went off. I'm going to add in this butter here. Kind of move that just a little bit so this butter can melt. And from here, you just kind of have to work a little fast. Sorry, my arm's in the way. I'm just turning the temperature down a little. I find helps. And then here's that herb olive oil. I got this like at a market. Yeah, you can see the rosemary in that. And then I'm going to get my thermometer. Kind of put it in the middle here. Get my spoon. And I'm going to tilt my pan, right? And I'm just going to start continually basting this. Now it's hot, y'all. So it is going to kind of pop a little. So if you want, wear some gloves. You know, as Heath says, I've got chef hands, so it doesn't really bother me. And you just want to continually baste it over and over again. And I try to, you know, make sure my baste get everywhere, especially on the corner with that fat. And you just keep lifting it. You don't want it to leave it like sitting. You want it lifted so that butter all pulls. It just makes it easier to baste everything. And I'm already at, it says 126. So I'm just want to get all of that in here. And then have your plate ready. Okay, mine says 128. So I'm going to go ahead and place that up right there. You want it to rest at least 10 minutes. So I will cover it with a cloche. Let it rest for 10 minutes before we cut into it. And then it will definitely be a good medium rare. And then we're all ready for dinner. That's how quick it is. Sunday dinner, and I've got about 4 ounces of a ribeye. And then the sauce I made is a scorched tomatoes, bacon, and then it's, of course, got the bacon fat. I added butter and some olive oil that was herbed. Basically what I cooked the steak in. So, and you can see how much fat there is. It's all on the bottom of my plate. And then I've got half of a tiny avocado. And then some jalapenos. This is a sweet pepper, the minis, and mushrooms all stuffed with goat cheese. And that's my dinner. And then I've got topo to drink. And that'll do it for today, y'all. Monday lunch. I'm really, really hungry this morning, y'all. So I've got a coffee with some more butter. This is actually my 3rd cup, maybe my 4th. I've been going, huh?
What?
I've been going through coffee today. I need it. It's Monday. I've got 4 tablespoons of mayo, a little bit of that scorpion cheese here, 2 slices of bacon, some garlic stuffed olives, and a little bit of ham, about 3 ounces of ham. And of course, I've got our MCT hot sauce and some flat iron seasoning. And that's my lunch today. Monday night dinner. So we've got 1.5 jalapenos, one of those sweet mini peppers, and a couple mushrooms, all stuffed with goat cheese. I've got 4 ounces of ribeye, and I made with the butter and olive oil mix that I basted the steak in. I then added afterwards some mustard and made basically a quick little cowboy butter dip. And that's what I poured over it. And then I've got half of this teeny tiny avocado. I mean, look at you guys. Here's my figure. And I have little hands. You see how small this avocado is. Oh, well, that's what you get 6 for $2 for. And here's my topo, and that's my dinner. And then look, there's the doggies. How are y'all doing? We're full, but we'll eat whatever you have, right? Tuesday lunch. So I've got 2 slices of thick bacon, a little bit of spicy cheese, about 4 ounces of ham, 5 tablespoons of mayo, and I'm also going to have some of these, which one's this? Blue cheese stuffed olives. And of course, the last of my coffee, y'all. And that's my lunch for today. I hope y'all had a good week. Tuesday dinner, and that's another week. What we got is a little over 3 ounces of ribeye in here. I did toss it with, I basically made scorched tomatoes, bacon, and mushrooms, all kind of fried in this grease. And then I've got 3 halves of goat cheese stuffed jalapenos, or 1.5 jalapenos. And then you see I poured all of that bacon and olive oil fat on my plate. And then I've also got half of a little tiny avocado. And then of course my topo here. And that's my dinner tonight. So that wraps up the Warden report for this week. I think week 15 already. I hope that was some interesting things. I hope you enjoyed that little cast iron steak. We do plan on doing like a full video on it, but I just thought, oh, I'll just show real quick how I do it. And I've been basically doing that every night. And honestly, y'all, like, we really love the sous vide, but a sous vide steak versus the cast iron basted steak, they're 2 different flavors. Like, nothing against the sous vide. I mean, if I had a really thick steak, like a 2-inch steak, then yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. But, that's Heath beside me. But these have mostly been about an inch, inch and a half. And the flavor is just amazing. I would say the other benefit is with the sous vide, like if you have 2 or 3 hours, well, it takes at least 2 hours. Yeah, that's great. Or you just put it in there and then it'll hold it until you're ready to cook it. When you're doing the cast iron, it's like 10 minutes of your time, probably less than that, but about just say 10 minutes of your time where you're cooking it that whole time, like you're staying on top of it, you're getting it cooked, and then you let it rest and everything, as you should always do. And it just ends up being trying to find a good place to put this. Oops. It just ends up being sorry y'all, really good that way. Just the flavor is what gets me. It just has a really good flavor. It even seems more tender, which, I've always heard, oh, sous vide's the way to go. That's how you get the most tender. But on these ribeyes, when I'm basting them in the cast iron, the fat, you know how it'll usually have a little fat on around it, that gets nice and crispy. So it's kind of like having a little crackling. And then the fat itself, it just kind of melts like butter. I mean, what do you think, hun? Do you think that's like the fat's more tender, the cast iron method? Don't you feel like?
Yes. My new favorite way.
Yeah, it's just really good that way. That's what we're doing. Let me know, what's your opinion if you've done both, or if you make a steak, what's your favorite way of cooking it? Like, I know Jerry's going to say, oh, on his RetTech, right? And so everybody has their different way of doing it. This one I'm loving right now. Having fun with that. Look, there's the dogs. Aren't they so cute? Of course, they're asleep. It's a hard life. So, yeah. Again, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be coming up and doing like some recipe videos for the cowboy butter, for that scorched tomatoes and bacon kind of sauce or topping of a steak. And of course, we'll do one on the steak itself. So we're going to try to get that done this weekend. And that's generally everything that's going on. It was a really good week this week. Just been chilling. Boy, when we went out to eat and had those fresh oysters, oh, they were so good, y'all. I love raw oysters. And those were really meaty. And the mignonette sauce was so good. The whole thing was so good. I just love fresh seafood. Really good. Oh, and then Friday night, I know I didn't record, but go back and watch Friday Night Feast. That shrimp, perfect. We're going to try to do a standalone video on that one too, but it takes time, and you're going to want to have those shrimp like right away. So go see how I made that shrimp to make them really crunchy. I know Renee's already done a version of that as well, and then that sauce turned out really well. So really love that. The other day I forgot to record, as we had family over on Saturday. I did have a turkey salad. Now, not like the mayo type, but I'm talking about, it was just regular iceberg lettuce topped with some shredded turkey and all that stuff that we smoked. I didn't get a chance to record it because we had the family here, and it was, kind of noisy. Everybody, everybody always wants to talk and chit chat and everything. So it's a turkey salad. You didn't miss much, honestly. But yeah, that was our week. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that everybody watches these. Leave me a comment. This week's one word, if you have watched till here, is doggy. Just because I see the word dog right there. So comment that, and then I'll know you watched to here. And stay tuned to see all of our wonderful channel members. Thank you all so much for your continued support. And look forward to having this month's cook-along. We're going to be making that this weekend, the recipe that I have written up. I'm going to test it this weekend and record it. Everything goes well, then I'll be sending out those invites, probably looking about the 25th for our monthly cook-along. Seems like the last Saturday seems to be working out very well. But thank y'all again. Have a great week. Bye.